the unexpected. A team that always plays off momentum. We'll see if they can get some here, starting with picks and bans. We went over this a little bit. We know we see the Alistar and the Zillion. Rengar will get hit against Insect, as it has been throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I was curious what White was going to ban, because I feel like they hold most of the cards in this championship banning phase. I thought maybe we would see a Lucian ban, because I'm expecting lane swaps from White. But right now, they are more testing Insect's champion pool, much like was tested in the semifinals, where he had to break out Fiddlesticks as well as Pantheon. So 2 jungle bans and a Lucian ban.
So we did see Rumble go away. The Lucian ban we were wondering about, will they take that away from Uzi, force him onto something else? He, of course, has left Ryze open. It's also left Maokai open, and for me, 2 very strong picks early on for the top lane.
Yeah, Twitch is exactly what White wants in this, because they are so good in the lane swap game. Twitch is the champion for that, and they actually just end up trading power picks in the top lane, things that have been banned in the past. It is a good start in this champion select for Samsung White.
See that Twitch possibly means the lane swap. We'll have to see what else comes in for White. Insect hovering with 2 junglers right now, as Korn has that Kha'Zix, so they're kind of just buying their time, not giving White too much time to think about what they actually do lock in. Taking the Janna away from Mata would be huge to stop his roam in the early game and really create pressure for everything else.
I think that jungle pick fairly obvious at this stage. Rengar, Lee Sin both banned away. Comes down to Kha'Zix at that point. Insect, of course, has played a couple of different things. We also, as you mentioned, see the Janna there for 0. On the other side, though, this is what I'm now interested in. What does Dandy bring into the jungle?
I would have to guess something like Jarvan, only because he did have success with that in the group stage. He didn't really have to bring it out much, but that's what they're going to end up going for here. A lot of early game pressure with that pick.
Does have that single play on it with the victory, but a very strong victory, as they all have been for White. Like we said, under that average time of 30 minutes means they are ready to do business in each and every game. We'll see what else is locked in. Mata still gets playmaking on Thresh here, and Uzi may just go back to his Tristana. He does lock that in. Korn will bring the Orion in the mid lane, as we thought. So does the Jace round it out again for Pawn?
He has the flexibility to do pretty much whatever he wants in the mid lane. And I think White needs to be a little bit careful here not to default into this becoming a late game match, because they've had so much success with very snowbally champions, winning before 20 minutes and hitting very specific power spikes. I think Jace is the right pick for them here, because I think he'll be able to farm very well against Korn, and then they can set up their poke siege, but they do not want to pick a late game combo.
Yeah, I mean, Jace for Pawn has been such a star pick for him. 3 games played, 3 games won, 18-3-32, giving him over a 16 KDA in those 3 games. That is a massive deal coming into this one. Korn, of course, his big champion these World Championships has been Orianna, but we'll see how we can handle Pawn, because that's a big factor in this.
Yeah, in all actuality, the picks that Starhorn Royal Club have here are actually quite good picks for them. They're all champions that they have seen a lot of success on. Uzi played that Tristan game 5 of the quarterfinals to really secure the victory. You know, they have a good late game core there. They're really just going to have to worry about the early game onslaught that Samsung White has been able to bring on their opponents and keeping up if we see a lane swap.
It's been crazy what White has brought to this tournament. Aggression, pretty much without preparation. You just find them in your face, and that continues to happen. They win the game practically before it's over, if you could actually say that. They have such a gold lead. It was 6,000 at 6 minutes on blue, and then even more at 10 minutes to about 20,000. It just multiplies so fast for them. And we'll have to see if Starhorn can actually match that aggression in the early game.
And it's very interesting when we're talking about early game. We don't have much of a big pool to look at how Samsung White lose. Only 1 game in these World Championships. Yeah. It happened when TSM dominated the lane game and snowballed off it. Can Royal Club do that? We'll find out.
We will find out. The teams are loading in, and the first World Championship game is about to go live. Who do you think will win? Start sharing your predictions on Twitter by sending either hashtag SHRWin or SSWWin to @LOL Esports, and we'll check in throughout the series to see where the fan vote stands. I'm sure it's going to be going back and forth, but Starhorn, they got a pretty good chunk of it. There are believers, but the stats, they almost say different.
So here we go then into game number 1 of the 2014 World Championship Final. Starhorn Royal Club on the blue side taking on Samsung White on the red for this first game. what is going to happen? We talk about level 1. White have done really well at level 1 before.
And the biggest thing to take away from Samsung White's level 1 is how quickly they can draw conclusions off the smallest of hints. If they see a defensive ward early in the top lane, they generally think the team's going for standard lanes. If it's a more offensive ward, they're expecting a lane swap. Here, they have a ward to prone for the invade, and now we need to see how White reacts. They've had some incredibly effective level 1s, 3-buffing multiple people, taking 3 buffs at level 1, but they've also had a few minor hiccups because they do get so aggressive. But they absolutely have the upper hand here because they have absolute vision on Royal Club in the jungle.
A pincer to be had right now. 2 wards, or at least a ward, laid down. One's in mid. They see that Pawn could start closing up, and they're going to start coming around. This would be the exit path here for Royal Club. They're going to try to hit up for Pawn. They said, where did he go?
Oh my God.
Rush vision with the ball. Command move there. Uzi takes that jump first. Rocket jump is going to be down. Pawn goes in. He gets knocked out. That's the room prison to him. Zero's the first one. Zero's ignited, and that goes to Dandy to start off a lot of jungle aggression in the game. Royal Club's not done yet. Expect the unexpected. One down. They still want to go for this fight. Pawn fires a shock blast without the gate over the wall, and they're going to disengage with first blood already. 1 minute 20 in.
It almost looked like Pawn lost his mind there trying to go in before the rest of the team, but that small amount of damage he put down was just enough for them to bait that next kill. Honestly, I think both those players, Zero and Pawn, succumbed a little bit to the pressure of the World Championship. Those were very over-aggressive, considering at that level 1 juncture, there was nothing to fight over, and neither one of them actually needed to blow summoner spells. But because slightly better execution on White's side, they get the first blood, and they also send their laners top.
Well, the hectic start that we were looking for happens here in game number 1. See there, Dandy and Looper starting things off on their blue buff, as has happened with the jungler and top laner over the other side. Gives us, though, that 2 versus 2 top lane. Jan and Tristana against Twitch and Thresh. What do we think to this one, Jack?
This is actually a lane phase that I didn't really think White would buy into. Because of the chaos at level 1, they're actually having to lane Imp and Mata against Uzi and Zero. This is one of the few conditions where Royal Club could actually come out on top of this game. Assuming they can avoid the hooks from Mata, they can actually win this laning phase with a little bit of jungle intervention. This is a very good start for Royal Club if they had just avoided that first blood.
A lot of summoner used in the beginning of that fight, so they're going to be down for quite a big time here. We have Exhaust and Flash down for Pawn, maybe a focus coming in for Insect. Still has his Flash up for a dangerous play, but right now they're doing their own thing in the jungle. We're not going to see that swap and help to the jungle or any nonsense in the beginning of this one. Wards have already been laid down for very safe top laning here, coming in for Imp and Mata.
So Dandy was topside. Thought he might end up coming over with Zero not having his, but they're pushed to the tower. There's the stats for Imp as well on Twitch. 7-0. Absolute beast on this champion, and with them fanning away that Lucian as well, force Uzi onto his Tristana, which has had a little bit more mixed success, that's for sure, when you look down the statistics.
I'm actually still quite surprised that we're seeing this 2v2 in the top lane, but as the lanes are playing right now, Imp and Mata are doing very well with Twitch Thresh. So as long as they can get out of that laning phase and pull a little bit ahead with Twitch Thresh, they're going to be completely okay, because the other lanes, the solo lanes in particular, should completely outperform. If we compare how well Pawn and Looper have played in this World Championship to Korn and Cola, who have played okay, but nowhere near the level of Pawn and Looper, the lane phase really favors White here, adding to the first blood.
And White already makes the move. That back, we have to also note, that was 1 kill to Dandy, but 3 assists down Pawn, Imp, and Mata. So they go back quick after having a bit of a CS lead to buy. CS is a bit evened up now, but now to the bottom lane for Imp and Mata.
Yeah, and this is more of what we expected. They are reactively swapping. They knew that they had a nice start to shove Uzi and Zero into that lane, and now they're going to be all about getting map control and making moves faster than Royal Club can react to them. When we watched that semifinal against Samsung Blue, it was so fast. I had to watch it again and again to catch all the little things that White was able to do. They really are the fastest playing League of Legends team in the world, and that excels in lane swap scenarios where there are more decisions to be made, that speed has a larger benefit for you.
And we saw there the impeccable timing from White. They see the recall in bottom side. They go through into the enemy jungle, knowing they'll have the numbers advantage there. They get full vision control.
that's the biggest thing there, Joe. Because they recalled first and initiated the swap, they get the vision, and there's a dive.
The dive is straight onto Corny. Opponent tanked up the turret. One more hit will come in, but he survives that one. And again, Dandy coming around the side, but it was basically a one-on-one play, which Pawn is so good at.
Yeah, and honestly, the end of that play started a minute and a half ago when the duo lane recalled from the top lane, because that prompted Uzi and Zero to go back, which prompted time to get vision control in the jungle, which allowed Dandy to turret dive, knowing that a counter gank could not be there because he came from a place of absolute vision. It is just Samsung White working in synchrony as they have the entire World Championship.
Ridiculous aggression and calculation. Pawn's flash and exhaust both being ready, not ready, exhaust was, but he couldn't flash out of that. They knew what they needed to do, and this is what Samsung White continues to do, is push small advantages, and they become very big, very fast.
It's incredible to watch right here, but honestly, the game is obviously not over. It's just 2 kills. Royal Club needs to adjust to the speed of this match. They need to be able to make their own aggressive moves. If you play on the back foot against Samsung White, as we've seen Blue tried to do just for a little bit, you get absolutely crushed.
So this mid lane then, after Korn went down, obviously takes no genius to realize that Pawn is going to be starting to get a big advantage there. Tia, almost a brutalizer done for him as well. There was a pink ward put down, so Royal Club actually have the 3 pink wards across the map, but did you see the pings there? They've literally just pinged on all 3 pink wards, one after the other to clear out.
Yeah, one amazing thing that I find watching Samsung White games is, yes, we talk about the communication they must all have, but honestly, one person or even 2 people cannot communicate the team-wide movements that they make. It's because they've played the same style for so long, everyone contributes, and it's more about them all being on the same page. The ward control and the vision on this map has already deeply invaded Royal Club's personal space. So there's no way Royal Club is comfortable right now in any of their lanes, really, because they don't have jungle control, they don't necessarily have CS leads, they've already been dove in the mid lane 5 minutes into the game. Things are not going well for Royal, and that means they can't react to the next play that White decides to make.
Saw just a minute ago the combination of Pawn and Dandy giving each other help to clear one of those pink wards that now Mata is in that area for. And another thing we see Dandy doing, if he does well or doesn't do well, is rushing those mobility boots to continuously make plays.
Yeah, and it's just so he can get more control, place more wards, make it to more ganks. With the early level 6, expect some fireworks.
And again, we see Dandy and Mata going completely unchecked towards mid lane. Korn, he's got no flash available here. There is the vision on Mata, though, and Korn walking back at the perfect time there just to make sure that they don't just collapse in on top of him. Once again, a good accelerated shot blast, and honestly, this may even open up a push towards Dragon if they can get Korn out of there. They know, however, though, that Uzi and Zero are both in that bottom lane still. That's a danger for them.
A huge tribute to Uzi here as well, being by himself in lane, but against 2. Usually that's just the solo lane for him, and he's still only down 1 CS. That was a few more a second ago, but as it crashes into the turret, even without Mata, he's able to stay strong by himself. The harassment still coming out of Pawn in the mid lane. Now with both summoners up, we could probably see something happening again there.
Yeah, but one thing that Royal Club is probably pretty happy about is Uzi has not been attacked. Surprisingly, the focus has been on the mid lane of Royal Club, and now the top lane. The solo lanes are actually what White has decided to target. Cola is in a whole heap of trouble.
That's going to be a big hit.
Oh, this is really bad. Pawn's come up from the mid lane as well. There was the teleport coming in. Korn, he may just be going down on this one. Who's tanking up the turret? It was Pawn. He flashes away, and he gets out of range just in time. 3 men low, but they get their 2 kills.
These are actually the 2 biggest mismatches in this series. The top lane, mid lane of White versus Royal Club, and it is showing here via the help of Dandy and the teamwork they are showing. Constantly having Ryze and Orianna pushed into their turrets is allowing White to make the aggressive moves. Pretty much all of their kills, save the first blood, have been from turret dive situations. Nothing is safe, and it is completely unexpected because everyone expected them to attack Uzi. Seeing this one again, it was just Cola dying at the right time, and then just really great exhaust use to make sure the shockwave couldn't finish them off, and turret dancing right there. Each one of those guys, if they take 1 extra turret shot, would have fell, but it's still flawless thus far, 4 kills to 0.
Royal Club still not giving up here. They're trying to make plays on top of being behind. It's only 2K right now, but Dragon looks like he could be on the horizon, very much so. for Samsung White, and that's going to catapult them even more into the lead. Pawn starts building up the Brutalizer. It'll be a Last Whisper next as he gets that damage going. The tier already stacking in that sense, and Looper's almost finishing that Rod of Ages to charge up as well. The wards to be cleared out here. It looks like they know they'll have the control to start on this dragon quite soon.
Yeah, the one thing that Royal Club can hope for here is a messed up dragon by White where they take a little bit too much damage, and if Corn can somehow land a nice shockwave in there. But the pressure is just ever relenting. They can't focus on anything because everything is getting pressured.
Well, one thing that we didn't touch on too much is the fact that Korn went with that teleport there in the mid lane, something that you've just got to make plays on. I mean, if you don't take the ignite in there, a heal in there, even a barrier in there, whatever, you still have to make use of this teleport, and so far he's made a use of it once. He went to the top lane too late, ended up dying. They get 2 kills from that. We'll see what that teleport really turns into a little bit later on, and you can see that Pawn moving up already. Saw already though that Kohler was walking back and realized he's probably on top of a ward there.
And in theory, having double teleport on your solo laners can also help out your bottom lane even more because you can collapse your entire team there in an instant. It'll also help you catch up if the other team rotates faster than you. But even with the catch-up mechanics, they didn't have enough raw power to take down Samsung White as they were diving their turrets. I'm actually very impressed, once again, with Samsung White's focus in this game, actually attacking Cola and Korn and leaving Uzi to his devices, knowing that he's on Trist, knowing that that won't become scary until very late in the game, and focusing on not letting it get to that point.
We see this numerous times from White. They know they're so far ahead. They say, if you want it, we'll force you into a fight. We could probably ace as well, but Royal Club knows they need to stay off this one, continue to farm. Insec is 63 to 46, but he doesn't have the 3 kills and an assist that Dandy has, so he still needs to get himself built up here, only with the Lizard Elder. That puts the gold at about 3,000 up, 4-0 here. Still waiting for Uzi to make a lot of plays. Like we said, expect the unexpected. We've seen him jump into fights to start them. There's 0 on the backside still.
This is a statistic that we heard earlier on the analyst desk, that if you look at their gold at 10 and then at 20, there's a massive jump up that's not just a similar double, because they go in that phase of the game straight into objective control and really bring that early lead into a massive mid-game lead, which is then so difficult to get away from. Currently, if we look down some of these lanes, some of the items that have been built up as Insect just waits there to maybe get involved in the bottom lane. Jace is the one that you have to look to. Pawn 103, Brutalizer, Pickaxe, and that tier already stacking for a good while now already.
Yeah, it's a 371 of 750 already at 13 minutes in this match. Plus, he's sitting on over 1,500 gold. They're using that acceleration gate and the boots of mobility to just completely outmaneuver Royal Club. The mid lane has been devastated, which is allowing Pawn absolute freedom on this map. I mean, they're actually beyond the ward line of Royal Club right now. They warded the lane in the river, and they're inside the jungle, which isn't giving anyone anywhere to go.
Just about everybody on White has freedom of the map right now, are still placing deep wards in towards the Wolves. And it looks like Uzi's going to do what they can with 0 here to push this top lane as fast as possible. Try to return a turret back, get some objective gold in, but they're already going to be stopped, and this could be a play if decides not to come out of stealth with the aggression, but just to hold them off from getting the turret.
No, but he may well do soon. Blade of the Ruined King is done for him, and that's traditionally when he's really got involved as Uzi. Actually using his ultimate. There is a Blade of the Ruined King used from him. Gonna try and get in there. 0 will have to bring the Monsoon down. It's all gonna be about the hook from Mata. Good Howling Gale. Mata's hook was on cooldown there for a little while longer anyway, and they walk away, taking out the first turret for Star on Royal Club here.
And that was the only place on the map that White hadn't attacked. Now, Royal Club trying to turn that into a larger strength. Flash away, they hook him in.
Could be Imp getting a kill here. That Blade of the Ruined King is down, so they don't have too much more catch potential, but they do have Pawn coming down. What a shot!
There we go.
From Pawn. Here comes the next 2, Dandy and Looper. That wasn't even a teleport coming in from Looper. It's still up. That was just him walking on down. The timing from White has been impeccable already.
And with the mid lane turret being taken down so early by White, they have the freedom of both junglers. Korn has been pushed onto his back foot, and it is allowing Samsung White to attack any point of the map they want. They have more map control, they have more movement speed, and they have quicker decision making, which is leading to this 6-0, 5,000 gold, 15-minute lead.
Pawn deadly accurate with that shot. And we're going to watch that one again, starting with Mata flashing into the hook on Insane.
Yeah, and he was just getting out of execution range from Uzi, but the whole time he was planning on turning this one around because all 5 members of Samsung White were there. That small minion gave him vision to line up his shock blast, and the rest of the team just piled on for some easy kills.
Red buff now to Pawn. He can even go for the 1v1s, which he loves so much with that. And we're going to see if Royal Club can start to answer back at all. Now completely on the back foot. We said about that 5,000 gold behind. They need to start getting the forward wards out. Not need to, but it would definitely help here. Zero staying with the team though right now. They will have to protect Uzi if he is going to be the one to start getting the carry. Static shiv to start so they can stop some of these waves from crashing into their turrets. We know White for their impeccable wave control as well.
Wow, and there is another shot blast coming through the acceleration gate, and, well, killing spree now for Pawn. Once again, though, it's Imp that actually got that one started, coming in stealth, using that Blade of the Ruin King to get him going. And, wow, just a bit of a destruction right now. Pawn absolutely on fire with Jace.
And what do you really do? This is something that Samsung White has been able to do against every team at the World Championship. Another dive!
Oh, there's the moving from Mata. Monsoon using the back. There's the kill coming down. First one of the game from Royal Club. But what will it cost them? Zero goes down. They trap in Kohler as well. Only an Uzi and a Colt to survive it. And now they go back, say thank you for the turret as well. We'll run away. It was only Mata that went down for Samsung White.
And they get 2 more kills on the backside. First blood in a sense for Royal Club, but is on the support. It goes to the mid laner, and they lose yet another turret. 4 turrets to 1, and still completely on their back foot. This is what Samsung White does to teams.
Well, even the White himself is in the lane.
He's helping out. He's helping out a little bit.
It's what we've seen from White throughout all of their games from the tournaments is this skirmish team that also has that pick potential to come in and just keep eating people alive. We see it here from both sides. They create another pincer.
And this could have been a whole lot more worse if Dandy didn't get Shockwave out of his EQ combo. That slowed down the initiation from Samsung White, but you can see it's just a full pylon. They are very tanky and very willing to all go in on the same page. It's at 15 minutes. A lot of the old criticisms against Samsung White were the fact that they would get over-aggressive in games. They would become overconfident. They're playing with a whole bunch of confidence now, but it's merited because they're picking champions that better fit that style. Jace is strong right now and will continue to be strong. It's not like they're making moves before they are powerful, and that's why it's working so well.
And it's incredible because we saw with 4 of these members that confidence was what actually really kicked them out of the tournament last year. They got too overconfident, and they didn't really respect the power of other teams. They've seemed to be able to level that confidence out and use it to just keep going forward, keep pressuring aggression, here more ward control to come in, and they're gonna have no problem, an uncontested dragon.
While we're on the confidence topic, I mean, the way that Samsung White have got to this final makes it harder for whoever would have met them, because you just look at their games and you say, how in God's name do we beat these teams? They look so incredibly good. They're making very rare mistakes. Yes, you'll find 1 or 2 in each game, but not usually things that you can just jump on and say we can snowball the game from that point.
Yeah, and I think there is a distinct difference between aggression and speed. Samsung White just plays fast. Yes, they are aggressive, but it is all very calculated. They see one ward on the other side of the map, and that will mean they can make a play completely elsewhere. We've seen that time and again in this game. They are always having more people faster than Royal Club has. They pick boots of mobility up as quickly as possible on their jungler. I mean, Dandy had those at 5 minutes into the match. Insec is still yet to complete his, because at the moment, Royal Club can't keep up, so they're just trying to become as powerful as possible in very small corridors in the hopes of a brawl. But White isn't really letting them brawl. They're picking the fights when they want. That was a little crazy, though.
Mata gets himself into a dangerous spot, but do they want to fight? Looper's already there, knocks Insec away, and he makes sure Uzi cannot return. That's the buster shot onto Looper, and they've hardly taken any damage as they take over control now of the bottom jungle. We saw two of the, I don't even remember the name now. Scrying orbs, there it is, had to be up on the map. so they can get into the jungle right now. But
you don't have ward control.
They can't have ward control. Another hook from Mata. It's going to be everything that they need on Nicola, who would hopefully carry the game on Rise, or it was going to be Korn coming out onto Ori. He also goes down, and Pawn is going to be the one to pick that one up, and the turret for the team. Double blue buffs on people running into the inhibitor.
Yeah, that much the chaos. They could just flash everything.
They keep doing on this one. Uzi almost getting caught up there, but they forced them off the inhibitor turret, which was the aim of this. 20 minutes into the game, the first inhibitor turret goes down. The first inhibitor will surely follow as well. Impact's getting a little low, but I'm not sure that they're done with this one. Looper went aggressive onto Uzi. The inhibitor does finally go down. Pawn will finish that, and they walk away, taking almost more kills there, but they get the first inhib at just over 20 minutes in.
And this is the start that Royal Club really hoped wouldn't happen. Uzi in particular as well. He is the only player in League of Legends history to play now in 2 World Finals. And he got 3-0'd last year. It's not looking good early on, but just taking a look at this dive, the presence of mind here, first they get the hook. Watch Pawn flash the shockwave as well. With all the chaos going on, the exhausts, the turret going down, the Janna ultimate, everyone flying everywhere, he sees the shockwave, flashes it almost immediately. Looper doesn't care because he's too much of a tank. They continue the dive. They have the presence of mind to finish the turret. Everyone is just on the same page with this huge lead, playing confidently, but the calmness that they are showing. Look at Pawn. He's got this expressionless face at the moment in front of 40,000 people in this stadium, and they're doing whatever they want.
And it doesn't look like it's going to end in the bottom lane. They go right to the top on the other side for the flash of Cola, but that was the ult into the flag and drag out of Cataclysm to keep in range and keep the kills coming. We can see into the minds of Starhorn a little bit, whether he wanted to use it or not. In that last fight, Korn did not use his blue elixir. Just too much going on. Samsung White is not stopping. Pedal to the metal now. Baron at 22 minutes.
And what a game 1 display this has been from Samsung White. 12,000 gold, about to secure this Baron buff. A small participation award for Royal Club to maybe get that second turret, but honestly, 13-1 with the Baron buff. This game will not last much longer.
And it's hard when you look down the performance in this game number 1. Dandy, early first blood, doing things like he did there, flag and drag into the enemy jungle to cut them off. Cataclysm, it was flashed instantly, you think, okay, that's over. No, flag and drag straight away, even got the knock-up from it as well to keep things going. Mata's hooks so far have been absolutely godlike, and Samsung White, if there was any question as to if they would turn up here in front of this massive audience, they've already been answered. They look incredible.
And this is their stage to succeed. Honestly, they were so close throughout all of 2014 to winning an OGN championship, and they just couldn't get there. They were always something just a little bit off. Everything is coming together here, and honestly, they've always been a pretty fast team playing the game, but they haven't necessarily picked the right champions for them. Additionally, this is such a good patch for them, and it's showing through right here. This gold lead is insurmountable pretty much at 23 minutes, and they're just waiting to group up to finish the game.
And it's quite easy for White to succeed. Every time they win a fight, they're able to go back and finish another core item. We just saw Uzi finishing a Last Whisper after his static shiv. Pretty strung out for gold in that bottom lane. If he's going to be the carry, it's going to be that much harder.
He's pretty much done with that build, I think, at this stage. I mean, if you compare that to the Ghost Blade, to that Blade of the Ruin King, obviously Pawn's the one you look at and his items and you say, well, he's just out of control. Black Cleaver, Muramana is done there. He's got a BF sword on top of his Last Whisper. This is a Jace that blows you up. There's him catching Korn out. This could be inhibitor number 2.
14,000 gold lead is absolutely showing. We know White for the lowest games or lowest average time out of groups, highest KDA, and they're showing us how it happens right here. On to Uzi, Arcane Smash, not a chance to think about it. He goes down from the hands of Pawn. That one misses. Not much more damage coming out, but Korn still down. Uzi's got 30 seconds. Insect gets caught. There's the Cataclysm. There's the takedown as Dandy gets another one for himself at 5:09. The first Nexus turret in 24 minutes. The second one follows through, and we're already on to game 2. 24 and a half minutes in. The Nexus goes down. Samsung White take game 1.
And you have to wonder how Royal Club could come back from that. Because from minute 1, they were defeated. They were spotted in their initial level 1. They picked champions they were relatively comfortable with, but definitely took a lot longer to turn on. Their strongest player, Uzi, was given freedom in the early game, and they were still absolutely destroyed. So White prepared so well for this, executed nearly flawlessly, and they're 2 games from the championship.
And that's one of the things that I like coming in here. You said comfort picks pretty much all around. Royal Club did get those comfort picks. Colo wanted Rise. That's what we were thinking at least, right? Always played better on it than his Aurelia. You have Insect on Kha'Zix, Korn on his Orianna.
Okay pick because the 2 jungle bans, but it's honestly still pretty good.
And then Uzi reverting back to the Tristana. You don't get a late game chance against White.
No, and that's the problem, I think, with going with that kind of comp. That yes, full-on comfort picks across the board in a way, but if you can't get to the stage of the game where that lineup is at its strongest, you're never going to be able to win against a team like White, who just did